Hey, welcome to the after party. I hope you enjoyed that video. If so, please give a like and a sub. There'll be more coming like this. Just wanted to share the basic two tricks that I employed there to get that pulse and drone combination effect. The first one is commandeering the LFO for that pulse effect by using a square wave, a pulse, and switching to amp that just controls the volume, and then locking the rate at 4 beats per step, and then turning full intensity on, and that gives us that pulse effect there. And then just turning the intensity down fades in that drone. The other main technique is tempo halving. So for that, I like to use a cheat sheet. And here's a link to the one that I put together. You're welcome to make a copy yourself, and then in that case you can use these two calculators on the right. But otherwise I have the main tempos from 200 down to 80, which is as low as you can go with the Korg Volca bass, because tempo 10 is as low as you can go when you have your tempo set in full mode. So I'm going to just show you really quick. Turn on your Volca bass with the function key held in. You're immediately in settings mode. This will turn your tempo to full, having the light on at M5. And then another good thing to do if you want to have MIDI connected to play this with another device or sync with other units, as I turn off the clock, I turn it to internal, and that allows me to fix the tempo here and not worry about the tempo effect. And this will allow me to use another trick that will kind of smooth out the transition from step to step. So you probably notice that slide between steps. Well, if you have a MIDI controller and you can send a MIDI CC message, you can fix that per session by using the slide time control change message. And you just want to set your slide time to 0. So for whatever reason, a characteristic of the Volca bass, the tempo affects that portamento slide between steps, but you can turn it off by just turning that slide time all the way down to 0. So I'll show you how that works. I've got it set up over here on the side. So I just turned it down, and now there's no slide between steps. So yeah, other than that, I just like to have fun switching back and forth. Oh, another thing to note is if you want to change any of your amp EG settings, your envelope generator settings, like turning the sustain and amp on, nothing's going to happen until you retrigger. But you can retrigger in one of two ways. You can go into slide mode, turn off a step, and then turn it back on again. Or you can clear your slide. But when you reactivate your slide, you want to do it on beat to keep that sync. Otherwise it will be a little off. The thing I noticed about the using this effect is that when I stop playing, it fades out. So it kind of gives a nice reverb, echo type effect when you're stopping the, or if you have long spaces between your steps, it can have that kind of cool effect there. And also, there was one other thing. Oh yeah, using cutoff, I noticed, kind of leaves this permanent drone, even when I have it max intensity, which is a nice change from the strictly amp, where there's no drone in the background. I control that by moving the intensity to the left. And then you can do other fun stuff like throwing in the bass for a drop, or you could just have that on another VCO. And pop it in that way. So lots of fun. You can have this technique. It's kind of like its own little rhythm machine when you start using lower tempos and tempo halving with a longer sequence in one track. So I hope this was useful and you have fun pulsing and droning on with the Korg Volca bass. Oh, remember, these only work if you power on.